Coronary angiography relies on fluoroscopy, which projects a complex, dynamic, three-dimensional anatomical structure onto a two-dimensional plane. Because of this dimensional loss, relying on a single view inevitably leads to misdiagnosis. Obtaining multiple orthogonal views is mandatory in the cath lab to overcome three distinct spatial and morphological challenges: eccentric plaques, foreshortening, and vessel overlap. Unmasking eccentric plaques. Atherosclerotic plaques are rarely perfectly concentric. They often grow asymmetrically, that is eccentrically, along the arterial wall. If an eccentric slit-like plaque is viewed and face on, the contrast column filling the remaining lumen can appear relatively wide, falsely suggesting mild or no disease. When the C-arm is rotated to view that exact same lesion from a tangential orthogonal angle, the true severity of the luminal narrowing is unmasked. Eliminating foreshortening. Foreshortening occurs when a segment of the coronary artery runs parallel or at an acute angle to the X-ray beam rather than perpendicular to the image intensifier. In a foreshortened view, the vessel segment appears artificially squished. A lesion in this segment will look much shorter and often more severe than it actually is because the contrast density overlaps itself. Using varying angulations, cranial versus caudal, ensures that the X-ray beam is eventually directed perfectly perpendicular to the specific segment of interest. This displays the vessel's true anatomical length, which is critical for accurate stent sizing and deployment. Resolving vessel overlap and bifurcations. The coronary tree curves tightly around the epicardial surface of the heart, meaning major branches and their subdivisions frequently overlap one another in a standard 2D projection. Separating territories. During a left coronary injection, a straight anteroposterior view or AP view will cause the left anterior descending and left circumflex systems to overlap completely. Using an LAO cranial view unrolls the LAD and its diagonal branches, while an RIO caudal view drops the diaphragm to isolate the LCX and obtuse marginal branches. Evaluating bifurcations. Assessing complex lesions at a bifurcation requires specific angles to visualize the main vessel, the side branch, and the carina simultaneously without overlap. For example, evaluating the distal left main requires a spider view, that is LAO caudal, to clearly see the ostia of both the LAD and LCX to formulate an intervention strategy. The foundational rule of coronary angiography is one view is no view. A stenosis must be confirmed and characterized in at least two orthogonal projections before determining its physiological significance or planning a percutaneous coronary intervention.